What's going on, friends? My name is M38 and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for the Nintendo Switch. I am very excited for this episode because what we're going to do is, well, not take on the Glaceado Gym, even though we're right here, but we are going to go to the Northern Province area and we are going to complete the Starfall Street quest and complete the final, take on the final Team Star base. And to go about with that, we have to go a bit out of our way here in Glaceado Mountain and into a pretty difficult area. So I'm not particularly looking forward to getting myself bodied by this area, but it is an area that we do have to go to if we want to make our way over to the final Team Star base. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way there. Actually, before I do that, let me I know for sure I missed something over here. It's a little stake over here. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out. And as per usual, nothing happens. An item! An EXP candy. Okay, back to where we left off here. So, I am going to... Well, I guess you could fly over here to that tower there, and you'll end up over here anyway. But, here we are. We're gonna head downwards. Nothing too exciting from where I'm... like in that one part that I missed exploring. I thought I did, but I thought there was something cool, but maybe not. But, welcome to North Province Area 1. North Province Area 1, well, at least most of the Northern Province area is full of pretty scary Pokemon. I went here as my 4th Team Star base on the first time I played this game, which is my practice file, and this place was very difficult coming here so early. And in some ways, there are some parts of this area where I am either around the same level or they are slightly higher level than me. So we'll see how going through these areas will turn out this time. So if you go on this side, then this will take you to a different part of Glaceado Mountain. And I'm not gonna really bother exploring all of this part because, again, there's a lot of just plain out open areas in Glaceado Mountain that, in my opinion, isn't really worth showing off. Even if there are items there, I just don't feel like it's worth like showing off. Unless there is something that's like really cool to show off, but well, for the most part, it's not worth it. I've mentioned that like a few times already when we've revisited Glaceado Mountain. But here's like the beach side of this area, of the Northern Province area, where there's more items here. There are no trainers on this side, surprisingly. But here's where you can just find more Pokemon and such. You can go to the other side and grab some more items there. And then if we go ahead and head on back out from where we enter Glaceado Mountain. Here in this cave, you can find some very powerful TMs that, well, they're very powerful, they do lots of damage, but they have a very unfortunate drawback for using those moves. So, unfortunately, I might not use those moves at all. Alright, so here's our first trainer of Northern Province Area 1, and you can kind of see, well, you can kind of get an idea of what the trainers are going to be like here. I think the intention, just like when we explored Casserola Lake, the intention is you should probably find a few more gym badges that are around our level, and then take on some of these areas, so that way you can be around the levels that these Pokemon are at. But I feel like it's fun doing this way. That way you can kind of see me get challenged, because a reputation that I've had with some of these Pokemon LPs is that I get pretty high leveled, and then there's not really much of a challenge because I'm overpowering some of the Pokemon, especially on some of the fights that are supposed to be hard, but well, they're not hard if I'm constantly being over-leveled. And I mean, after I'm done with this sequence of the game, then I will be over-leveled again, because then all I have after completing this quest is taking on gym leaders. And I only have 5 badges, and so if I take on gyms 6, 7, and 8, then they're not going to really pose too much of a challenge. Alright, but anyway, this will be a good time to talk about the Pokemon here. In Northern Province Area 1, the new Pokemon you can find... Oh, actually, wait, hold on. After his battle, Freddy levels up. Level 54, Freddy will evolve from... Well, he'll evolve to Baxcalibur, which is a very powerful Dragon Ice-type Pokemon. So that's going to be very exciting. So now, my entire team is fully evolved. This is my final team from here on out. Alright, so... very exciting that we now have our team fully evolved, and now our whole team is pretty much ready for basically just the rest of the game now. Here in this part, we got this little like lake area, and in this area there are 3 very powerful dragon trainers that you can go ahead and take on, and that's what I'm going to do here. Anyway. There's not very much new Pokemon that you can find in Northern Province Area 1, despite the Pokemon you can find here being large, but the Pokemon the new Pokemon you can find Dreepy, which, you know, we've encountered Dreepy before in some of the previous areas. You can find Indeedee, you can find Nullbat, and Salazzle. Alright, go on top of that tower there, and you can get, I believe there's a Gimmighoul up there. So, you can fight that Gimmighoul, get lots of Gimmighoul coins. There's a Gimmighoul right over here. So you grab yourself another Gimmighoul. And then right there you can get the TM for Dragon Pulse. And there's a lot of, like, Dratinis and Dragonaires in this area. If you're interested, it's a pretty good place to find Dratinis. Even though you could already find Dratinis back in Castaway Lake. Here's another powerful dragon trainer. Again, trainers that have the black text boxes when you talk to them indicate that they are stronger than the trainers that you typically find in this route. Okay, so there was the Gimmighoul right there on that particular spot. And then you go and continue going around and get more items there, as well as a Terra Raid if that's your thing over there. And we're going to collect even more items. And then now I believe we're done here, so we're gonna go and explore this little like uphill part and see what we got here. Ruins over here, and then that Gimmighoul coin is pretty tricky to get to. I think you're only supposed to have climb for that, and because I explored this kind of early in back in my practice file, I did not have the climb ability, but now I do, and it makes some of these areas pretty easy to get to. Like getting to that part right there is much easier to get to with the climb ability. The climb ability is so great. Like look how much we can explore, and then we have that wonderful ability. All right. So then we go ahead and continue onwards. And now we're going to go to the other side of the area, now that we're done with this. North Province Area 1 in general isn't really like a huge area. So we're not going to be here for that. Grab more items there, and then over here is a Pokemon Center, as well as this guy right here who will reward you for fighting a certain number of trainers within Northern Province Area 1. So then we go and head on to this side right here, grab some more items, and and then we just go and continue the main path over here. and see what we got. Another EXP candy there. And then if you go upwards, then you'll be taken to Glaceado Mountain, of course. The Glaceado Mountain is pretty much the main part that you'll see in the northern area. Alright. And then we just go ahead and continue making our way. And pretty soon we're actually about to head to the next area. And that is where the Team Star base is located at. Just go ahead and continue the pathway. And then on our way here, we got a couple more trainers that you can fight here. We're gonna start with this guy right here who has a low kicks. And a Talon Flame. Using Tailwind there, which will reverse the turn order, so that the slower Pokemon goes first. But not that much of an issue with that fight, especially with the Pokemon like Tough being pretty defensive. All right, so another trainer here. This should be the last one before we head on to our next area. This guy using Trick Room, and again, it just like Tailwind, the slower Pokemon will go first in Trick Room. But there we go, taking out the Passimian there. And next up is Glalie. Going for Snowscape. Wow, it actually tanks that. That's a surprise. Usually, like, Ashley in this form is, like, really powerful. Alright, so welcome to North Province Area 2. This area is divided up into two parts. The first half is basically this first half before taking on Team Star, which we're actually almost there to fighting Team Star. So this area here is, I mean, if you listen to the music, which you can't really hear the game's music, but it does have a slightly different music over the other North Province areas. This area is like full of like bamboos and such. It's I mean, kind of like a similar environment to Tag Tree Thicket. But yeah, more items that you can find if you just like explore every like nook and cranny around this area, as well as a few more trainers here. You go ahead and send out Freddy for the first time in his new form. See how well he poses against these fights here. And as you can see, he's so powerful. It's amazing to think that. And usually, like when you raise your Dragon Pokemon enough, then they just become a monster at Pokemon battles. So more trainers there, and then this is called Fury Falls. It is one of the 10 sites of Paldea. I don't even know how many of those we've found, but those are. It's there for you to know. And I believe you can actually just fly to it as well, as like kind of a short. You can kind of fly just to just random areas within Paldea. It's pretty crazy in my opinion. I guess it just helps that way you don't like. You can pinpoint like where you're at within those particular routes. But yeah, we're actually almost done before we make our way to the Team Star base. Just collect a few more items here. And then over here, I do not have enough trainers to get a reward from that guy, unfortunately. So we're gonna go ahead and click a few more items. Then we shall be on our way to fighting Team Star as soon as we finish collecting these items. I see you're almost at the 5th base. Hold up inside there is Team Star's last remaining squad. You fought well to make it this far. Thank you. Someone, Cassiopeia! You made it as well, Clive. Of course, it's the last base. I wouldn't want to miss out on the action. Clive, I owe you my thanks. Your help has been invaluable to the operation. I'm sorry I was so wary at you at first. Well, that's all water under the bridge. When we're finished with this base, will that be the end of Operation Starfall then? Not quite. We'll still need to handle Team Star's secret mastermind last of all. Do we have any leads on how to find them? I'm hoping they'll come out into the open once all the squad bosses have stepped down. I see! We've come so far, only a few more steps left. Don't let me down, either of you. Cassiopeia's hung up alright. Thanks to you, I've slowly but surely come to understand Team Star. I know what I need to do, and I know what my final decision will be. For that, I can't thank you enough. Take care in that base. Sorry for getting all polite there. Don't know what came over me. I don't know what you call me miss for. Aren't you like a student? Shouldn't you refer me as my name? Since... Again, this is so, like, sus. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's going to take us a little bit further into the route, but there's still a few things here. Like, for example, this trainer right here. I want to go ahead and fight this trainer real quick. Alright, should be the last trainer before we make our way to the base, which is over there. So, let's go ahead and, well, first let's go ahead and put Wyatt up front, because I think Wyatt's going to be doing most of the action here. So let's go ahead and make our way up front here.